starting to make good until Max Cobalt brought out a red flag as he rattled the car with 3 minutes to go up against the barrier and did damage to the guardrail and to the front left corner through the day with only one use.
Whoa, big shot,
but that could be a safety car.
Now that looks like a mechanical failure under braking.
That's a big impact. The McLaren suddenly speared off the road.
He just overreact, or it's hard to tell there was anything. I thought maybe there'd been something mechanical, but that just looks like more or less a driver instigated. And once the car started its career
it was turn 2 that caught them out though, as off the road with a bit of an assist when the Lamborghini was in that mix as well. In the gravel was Miguel Toril, and Hubert Haupt was given a bit of a shoulder. Dule took over number 8. Timur Sadarov bumped his way off down towards the first chicane. More contact came as unfortunately for a quick lap time. A spin coming curtailed the fun. Gary Kondakov put his Ferrari big time into the gravel. That actually could be early yellow flags though, as number 11 Michael Brogniewski was punted as he lost less time under the safety car situation like that. Then drafted and gave way to Lawrence Vantor for the last stint as Alvaro Parent was
side. Oh, is it? And then Constantine
big shunt, big hit in the turn 4 and turn 3.
That was the third of the Bentleys, and it gave a big
one. Bosch hits the McLaren, hits the Ferrari. McLaren gets it gets the second smack. It's the second smack from the Ferrari because of the effect of the bend in it, and he's just come back a bit too quick, and the carcass from the BMW has departed from the left.
Yes, all looking good in a minute. So.
I'm going to have to just stop you there. I think there's been some incidental track. Sorry, stop you there.
Sorry.
Thank you very much, OJ. The 49 Ferrari from AF Corsa, Jean-Marc Michelier started that.
Drowell straight into scene. Stephen Kane spun and lost the back of the Bentley. He's gone around. He's got the car straightened.
Ferrari.
Oh, it just suddenly turned sharp right. And again, big heavy impact, and that car is all over and done with. There's heavy damage.
And there's another big accident at the top of the car. It's the Butson-Gignon car.
So that's the tail end of it. Yeah. Right front wheel ripped away, and the right rear as well, but it's the right front of the
corners. Frederic Verviche was an early casualty as he just clipped the side of John Calverne's. Commitment, and there, just to prove the point about commitment, is a very crumpled Audi. Shot, let's see what happens, and the car just breaks away there, just a dot, and then round it goes. It disappears behind the trees, but
you're just, oh, and there you go. Just caught the damp line on the way into the source rear. Trying to look and see, well, I know what happened. The Ferrari was coming up the inside, and the Mercedes was literally just didn't see it. Car, the Jaguar, and goes down and all the way. Oh dear me, bump. Now that isn't what caused the damage. It's the spin trying to get back on the track. There it is. It didn't even
carving through traffic, but getting caught up with the 17 Ferrari. That's out of the race as well, and it was the damage there going up to Les Combes that was further delay. Here coming out of the bus stop, somebody else in strife. Oh, that was 8 Bentley, wasn't it? Getting it wrong,
Maxi Book on board with car 50.
And this was the spin. Yeah, that's Kondakov. We saw him rejoining slowly. That was the lose at Pouan.
Onto the straight, and you can see it just would appear to have just sort of, the tire just went. Whether that's Thess's, and there's maybe some of the reason why.
So Fassler has a spin. Takes it, that's the leader! The leader, Dirk Werner, is off the road. The corner, and suddenly it just locks, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's the back end of the car locks, and it just rotates around. Now the wheels are still turning.
This was what happened because it was a big lose, and he got within. Katzberg is doing such a good job. This is the replay, as I'd explained earlier, of how the Mercedes has got the drive-through. That's unlike Rob Bell, who got it wrong seemingly on his own. Spins onto the grass and into the barrier.
Oh, dear me, was that contact? I think it might have been.
That's definitely contact.
That's contact, but I think there was a little bit of contact.
At the start of Q2 as everybody poured out, and there was a spin early.
Just trying to get out of the way fundamentally, to be the decent guy, and of course onto the gravel, and once it then spins
on the road, we're going to end up with another safety car. I fear as Perez gets assaulted by Bastian at turn 1, and round he goes into the...
I mean, I've never seen a car facing the wrong way on the Nürburgring. It must have been, I don't know, on the inside. Well, in fact, in fairness, he was almost side by side, but of course he was too quick at the point when the McLaren wanted to turn in. Yeah, there's the car coming. Oh, he's off. He hits.
He got a hit from behind, didn't he?
I'm not sure he got hit from behind. Certainly he went. There you can see the bodywork shredding itself board.
And it was the 173 Martin Plowman Nissan that arrived out of nowhere and glanced the left-hand side.
What was that all about?
Woof.
Early on, it was trying to get some heat into the tyres, but and a spin through turn 14. Remember that corner number, because we'll have a few more to follow.
That one got good marks, but this one, Christopher Mies, did a lot of damage. Oh, almost got it airborne, and eventually a little kiss on the concrete wall, which probably was almost negligible in terms of damage. The damage being done was actually going off. But Kelney down at the end of the main straight.
Down at the end of the back straight, going for a spin in turn 7, but the corner that will come back to bite the team WRT on the bottom was turn 14, and there is Robin Freed, a star in practice yesterday, really setting the pace, but a big clonk. With
the more I see it, the more I realise that was actually a substantial.
Down goes Marcus Winkelhock. He hits the 84 Bentley, which is clouted by this field.
There we saw what we didn't realise at the time, but
and Marcus Winkelhock lost out a little bit, and then poor old Yoshiharu Mori got tipped into a spin there. He was the 83 Bentley going off. Olivier Lombard getting it wrong at Westfield, but plenty of gravel in which to... And Kevin Estra, who was very lively indeed, but the most lively moment of all came there, unfortunately, for Maximilian Buch. A very small error on the exit of Paddock Hill Bend. He ran a little wide, just kissed the gravel, spun the car around and spat it across the circuit. A huge impact with the barrier.
Then later be given a drive-through penalty. That was Lee Mole attacking Alexei Vasiliev. And Vasiliev was then, this was a little bit rude from Stefan Riquelme, knocking Olivier Lombard into a spin, the 80 racing car of Marco Seefried, who started the race. Then that was the spin from Delph, and then here was what we think looks like a mechanical problem for Marco Seefried, because he seemed to be pretty much through the corner. It then suddenly snapped away from him the other way, and then they retired.
Between the number 1 Audi, the Ferrari behind, but then further behind them with the McLaren in the middle of that sandwich, we had the 3 and 4 Audis clashing with each other, the number 5 bunch. And look at that wonderful onboard footage, and a disaster for the team on its home patch. Belden Audi Club, Team WRT.
The Bentley going into the Ferrari, it does look pretty 50-50 to me.
It sort of does, but my eyes were drawn to the number 2 Audi making its move up by the far wall, and of course ramifications for that later in the race. A replay of the replay, if you will.
And Sprint Series race, this is where it went wrong for Kevin Estra. Back end just got away from him, coming into the left-hander. And in the order, the Ferrari managed to make up places. Winkelhock was then shuffled down more as Jules Simkowiak slid into the side of the number 60 BMW. That was Marcus Winkelhock spinning right at the last closing couple of laps. And into the lead of the race, and there's 3 wide. Enzo Eid on the inside line, and we've got cars off running wide, and in the middle of the pack, around goes Von Turn and Taxis. The pole man has spun, and he's at the back of the grid. The Ferrari got caught. He ends up on the grass, cutting straight across, barrels into the side of the Lamborghini, and I think that's where the damage came.
Yeah, the Lamborghini got spun round in the middle of the pack. There you can see it going around. Fortunately, everybody managed to drive around him while the car was rotating through.
Then Laurens Vanthoor spun out of 4th place. He only lost 1 position. It only cost him 2 points.
A good job. He got the Bentley up into the front row of the grid. That was the big scary moment amongst a number of moments when I thought back on form. Laurens Vanthoor, the lead, and which he never was to relinquish.
Nicky Katsberg was sent spinning. It was notable only really for this, as Nicky Meyer-Melnhoff tried to pass James Nash on the grid. A moment for Sergio Jimenez. He lost the rear of the car coming through the final. Better run. Oh, it's not that easy because he's been a little bit nudged onto the grass, and it's contact, and off goes Laurens Vanthoor. Big accident, and the Bentley has been collected in that as well, and the Bentley's gone off the circuit of Jules.
On the left-hand side, this is coming down, and then he comes across, and in fairness, he comes back across, heavy impact on the driver's side, wheels, bodywork, shed, the Bentley.
He gets past Attila Abreu, coming into this sequence of corners, and a little out of shape there. Nicky Meyer-Melnhoff, and he's going to spin it. Turn 1 is the Ferrari of Siegler, going to end up in 3rd place. Fritz holds it around the outside and spins. Round goes the championship leader into the gravel trap, and he may well be beached. Movement in the middle of the pack. Oh, and into the wall. That's the Brazilian BMW, and spinning in front of the pack. Christopher Mies slams on the brakes. Both the BMWs are spinning, and both Attila Abreu and Caca Bueno are going to be out of this race, surely. Attila Abreu definitely is.
And then gets...
the BMW comes across. Attila Abreu comes into Meyer-Melnhoff.
Yes, so then again you can see now somewhere